Hello children, good morning. Welcome back to our geography class. In our class today we are discussing new chapter and that is the last chapter in geography, that is natural vegetation and wildlife. At the end of today's class you will be able to learn about the natural vegetation. What is the meaning of natural vegetation and how many kinds of natural vegetation, and also what are the factors affecting the growth of natural vegetation at different places. Okay, let's go. So let's start our lesson with a small story, children, which is given in textbook. Okay. So here the story is all about Salima. She is a student like you children. She has gone to a picnic along with her friends. Where she went, she has gone to Manali in Himachal Pradesh. So what she saw over there, what are the landforms she saw, what kind of vegetation she saw, all she is again recollecting, and she felt very surprised. Okay, she saw different kinds of landforms which are different from that of the landform where she is living, and the natural vegetation also different from that of where she is living. So as her bus climbing higher and higher on the hill slopes, the deep jungles, the foothills comprising sal and teakwood trees, children. But once they were there, now they were disappeared. She also saw tall trees with pointed leaves, like cone shaped canopy. Okay, so those are nothing but coniferous trees, because those trees develop cone shape where the snow falls frequently on those hills. So if the trees are not coniferous, they die. So to adapt that climatic conditions, trees they develop in such a way, they grow in such kind of shape. Okay, she also noticed some bright flowers and tall trees, children. On tall trees, she also observed some bright flowers. See here, you can see, these are called rhododendrons. These are called what, children? Rhododendron flowers. So these are plentifully available on the Manali hills. And when she was traveling upon the Ronthong Pass, children, what is the meaning of pass? Yes, pass is nothing but a narrow subway from moving from one side of the hills to other side of the hill. Okay, so that pass name is Ronthong Pass. When she was traveling to this pass, she saw the land was covered with short grass and snow on some places. Okay, land covered with small grass, blades of grass and snow over there. Okay, so she felt very happy with that visit, children. So, from this story, what do you observe? Salima observed when sun rises that there is a close relationship between height of land and characteristics of vegetation. When the actually on the hilly areas sun rises lately and sun sets so early. So she also saw the observations. Okay, so the amount of sunlight they receive, how much duration sunlight it is receiving, and the characteristics of vegetation, the height of land, the climatic changes, the natural vegetation changes, likewise the natural wildlife also changes. All these observations she has observed very carefully. Okay, so you also, when you go to any other place, you observe the climate over there, observe the weather conditions, and observe the plants which are grown differently from that of our place, and animals which are available over there. All these observations you need to notify. Okay, so then what happens, children? So temperature and moisture, the growth of vegetation depends upon water temperature and moisture. So it also depends upon factors such as slope and thickness of soil also. If the soil is so thick, the plant grows so strong and healthy. The soil is so thin, plant cannot grow strongly. Okay, so slope, thickness of soil, moisture, temperature, all these are factors for the growth of vegetation on that area. Okay, so the type and thickness of natural vegetation varies from place to place, children. This natural vegetation may vary from place to place. So let me tell you the important concepts of this chapter, children. Before I start this, I'll just tell you some important concepts. So in this chapter you learnt about natural vegetation. Actually, what is the meaning of vegetation, children? Vegetation is nothing but if you grow any plants by your own in your garden is called vegetation. For example, if you grow a rose plant or jasmine plant or shuffer plant, so in that kind of any kind of plants, garden plants, if you grow in your own garden, they are called vegetation. Okay, the example I gave in, no, even crops in the field also they are vegetational because they were grown by farmers. What is the meaning of natural vegetation? Vast natural vegetation is nothing but the plants or the trees which are grown by themselves without the help of human beings. Okay, they grow by themselves. So such kind of vegetation is called natural vegetation because they grow themselves naturally. Yes, so here the two important words, children, flora and fauna. What are those? Flora means all the plant community comes under flora. Any kind of plant, any kind of flowering plant or non-flowering plants or trees all comes under flora. What's the meaning of fauna? All the animal species. This all comes under fauna. Okay. So plants we call flora and the animals we call fauna. Fine. Yeah, as I told you, the type and thickness of natural vegetation varies from place to place because the variation in these factors, which factors we discuss now? Temperature, moisture, thickness of soil and slope. Basing on these factors, this thickness of natural vegetation also varies and type of natural vegetation also varies. So basing on these factors and the thickness and type of natural vegetation, this natural vegetation is generally classified into broadly three categories. One is forest, one is shrubs, one is grasslands. Okay? Again I repeat, forests, grasslands and shrubs. So let's discuss about them in detail. Okay? So first of all, forest. What are forests, children? Forests are nothing but they grow where temperature and rainfall are plentiful to support tree cover. You know, children, any area where there is a lot of temperature and more amount of rainfall there is, that area compulsory support a large variety of trees, and they are also very tall and strong trees you can find over there. Okay, so depending on these factors, dense and open forests are grown. Dense means what? Thick forests. Okay, next comes to grasslands. What are grasslands? Grasslands are those which grow in the regions of moderate rainfall and moderate temperature. The areas where they receive less means moderate means what? Average. Okay, average rainfall, average temperature. No, there they can observe grasslands. Okay, now let's go for the third part, children. That is shrubs. Shrubs are nothing but thorny shrubs and the scrubs grow in dry region in areas where there is more temperature but less rainfall. Less rainfall and more temperature. So that's those regions are called dry regions. So you can find these shrubs or thorny bushes or scrubs in those dry regions or deserts. So now Shalima also shared her experience about the Himalayan trip with his father. As soon as she come from the trip, children, she told her father what she saw in that place. And children, her father also, he visited many places. He visited deserts, he visited forests, many kinds of forests he visited. No, he also given some other extra information about about those places. Okay. So with this, she has understood that the changes in the type of vegetation occur mainly because of the changes of climatic condition. So if the climate changes, the vegetation changes. If vegetation changes, ultimately the animal life also changes. So in the next class, let's discuss about different types of natural vegetation of the world with their characteristic features. All the vegetation is not same. I told you, no, dense forest. It means thick forest, deciduous forest or dry vegetation. So different vegetation we have discussed now. All those we'll discuss. What are those types of forests? These are tropical evergreen, tropical deciduous, temperate evergreen, temperate deciduous, Mediterranean forest and coniferous forest. Got it, children? So we'll discuss these forests detailedly in the next class. So that's all for today, children. Thank you.